This is Highly Black and Flavored, The Return, Episode 3, Season 4. My name is Kenneth Davis.
And I'm Jakese Crockett.
And I'm Josh Forde.
And we're here to push forward and talk about great things. So, guys, how's your week been?
Mine been real busy. You know, I just got a new.
It was that bad? It was that bad?
Yes, it was that bad. It was really that bad. So I just got new leadership, and he's so fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh
yeah.
I thought it was about to go in the other direction.
Nah, for real. All the people I had that was over me, like I'm a commander or first sergeant, always been like kind of iffy. But he like first impression, like he's young. He's the youngest, probably the youngest commander I ever had. He's like 27 years old.
Captain?
27?
Captain,
That's
yes.
pushing.
He's not
makes
married.
That makes about sense. Think about me.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 28.
We all the same age. Oh, what? Actually, I forgot. We're older than you.
Damn.
Yeah.
But he's so fucking cool. Like he was an infantry officer, and like he tell me stories and whatnot. But he's like, man, I don't want to keep you out here longer than what I'm saying, which I'm having you. But he's so cool. We just got done with inventories, or we leftover inventories. But other than that, he's so cool. I mean, other than that, I'm chilling. Really, I'm starting class next week. Network Plus. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Plus, yo, you love you,
Hey, I'm telling you, just had Security Plus, and I got Net Plus. Next, I'm saying probably CASP.
Ooh, CASP. Ooh, okay. Ooh, I see.
But I'm still wanting to go to Aerosol and Jungle, but that's out of the. I don't care anymore. But other than that, I've been good.
You better go do that while your knees and joints and shit are still intact.
For sure.
You're wasting your time.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I've been good.
That's good.
Impressive.
It's always good to have that fresh push during the week, and especially at work. A change of pace at work makes that difference. It always does, and that'll make or break whether your weekends will be spent in bed or whether you'll be begrudgingly doing chores and angry at the world, and you'll wake up and you'll take your ass back to work. Jakese, how about your week? How are things going for you?
My week was straight. It wasn't bad. I just got back from the field on Friday, so we did a validation exercise for our equipment. Wasn't too worried about my team or anything. Hit the fastest time. They said because I cheated, but I used my knowledge and pushed my team through just because I know some things. I'll pass it along to everybody. We still got the fastest time, so it's an even playing field. But we did our thing. Had the whole culminating event. Got back actually Thursday. We got back a day early than we're supposed to because our first sergeant was having surgery on his ankle. It is what it is. We got a free day out of it, and I went into some streamer mode because I'm on 29 days of leave. So I got back collabs recently from somebody, which blew my mind off of a TikTok. I just posted a open verse challenge, and he hit me back up within minutes with something. I was like, all right, then let's get it.
Straight to work, huh? Straight to work. So I am excited to have him finish that track and then put that out. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And you gave us a little behind the scenes of something that you're currently working on. You want to keep that under wraps for now?
Nah, the cat's out of the bag. You know what I'm saying?
All right. The cat's out of the bag. Yeah, people, you heard him.
I believe last episode I might have mentioned working on a new beat tape, and I'm proud to say that I actually have completed the artwork for it and then put that out into the ethereal realm. So it's out there. It's dropping, I believe, about a week before Halloween. So around like the 23rd, 22nd of October. I was initially going to do the 30th, but I was like, I'm let Halloween stay Halloween. So the pre-save link should be out here shortly. I've got a video already created. I'm going to start chopping that up and put it on TikTok and just letting that thing roll.
Ooh, look at that. I'm glad that's working out for you. I also want to address something you said at the beginning when you started talking. And this goes out to military professionals and also just anybody like in general, don't gatekeep information. Do not gatekeep information. If you made it to a certain point in your career, or you do things very, very well, share that with other people, because one day you're going to leave that establishment and people are going to have to do the same thing that you're doing. And specifically in the Army, the processes of how we do things, that typically changes over time, but there's an abundance of general tasks and a way to approach both leadership and approach your methods to how you execute actions. That stuff doesn't change. Like, you're going to run a range. You're going to do that 100 times. You're going to have to go to, 100 different variations of training. As you go up there in the leadership structure, everybody's going to have to, do SHARP. They're going to have to do EO. They're going to have to do resiliency training. And at some point, you're going to be somebody, and you don't want to be coming in completely cold. And somebody had the answers to the playbook right there for you. So I just wanted to open up the show with that one note. And with that, I also wanted to add that I've come into my 28 year of life, and I came in swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, 28 years of life is nasty work.
Nasty.
Right behind you.
28 is crazy. I'm like, I feel so much older. I'm like, 30. Come on, come on. I'm already going.
Like, you 30 now. I'm like, dog, no, don't do me like that, dog.
Damn, y'all old, man. Y'all old.
Hey. I told you we've known each other since the 9th grade.
Yeah.
And I've known Chris since
probably like what, 6th, 5th?
No, about the 7th or 8th grade. About the 7th or 8th grade. And I've known Biz the same amount of time. No, I've actually known Biz longer.
Whew.
Yeah.
That's real friendships.
Yeah, but I definitely I took some time to sit back and reflect, and it fucking feels like forever. Like I finally got to a point, like, just in the profession myself, where I'll have soldiers around, and I look at their date of birth and when they came in, and that I look their date of birth, that shit says 2003, 2004.
Like, damn. Hey, look, see?
What the
That's how I was on Gate Guard.
What is this shit? I remember where I was in 2003.
I was eating chicken nuggets in a slide. Like, come on, man.
I was living in New Orleans at the time. Like, I was very much here. What is going on? And now we're at the point where, like, you can ask somebody that's like 19, 20 years old, like, did you watch the Rugrats going up? And they're like, oh, what? What are you talking about? The rug who? Is that like little rodents that? Oh, Jesus Christ! What? So y'all weren't really around when SpongeBob was doing his thing. Was hitting seasons 1 through 4, and we even get 5. There's some episodes and some noteworthy episodes to talk about.
Yep. Anything before the movie.
Everything before and leading up to the movie. That's the great stuff. Anything that's like immediately after is like, it's neither here nor there. But, definitely took time, went out to Corpus Christi, got a nice little room at Embassy Suites, the Diplomat Suite, as they call it.
Diplomat.
Oh yeah. I was calling that motherfucker the Dipset. I was walking around in shorts, shirtless, listening to Dipset anthem as I was getting ready for the day before I went to go eat and everything. But I had a couple of drinks. It was easy. It was breezy, real smooth day. Of course, I couldn't get away from getting calls, but that comes with the business. So Here's the 28 years of life. Josh, I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. Continue to take care of your health. Because you're going to be here too.
Like 4 years.
Yeah.
Hey, them 4 years are come like a freight truck, bro. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's people like, oh, you're 27? And I'm like, yeah. They was like, you don't look it. I'm trying to keep it that way too. Now, keep your mouth shut.
You said you're 24?
Yeah, I'm 24. I turn 25 next year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So life is setting in now.
Yeah.
That's about time life starts setting in.
Hey.
A few years younger than that. That's yeah. But that's a-okay. That's a-okay. By the time you get to this point, you be going to bed early. Your patience, it's just gonna, and it's only a 4 to 5 year difference that you'll see it.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's different for you because you know you're set in. You got your life ahead. You got your situation.
Yeah, by the time I'm 30, I'm trying to be a millionaire. Shit.
You'll be grayer. Trust
ain't nothing wrong,
and believe.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with getting it how you live. Getting in there. Yeah. Forget all. Somebody brought that up. Because we were talking about Rod Wave's album, and I was like, okay,
that dropped, ain't it?
Yeah. I thought it was all right. But something that's a running joke that I could never get over with Rod Wave.
He don't even run.
Come on now. That's low hanging fruit. That is low hanging fruit.
I'm gonna go that bitch
every time. For some reason, Rod Wave, despite how successful he is as a singer, rapper, and a songwriter, he is always in a perpetual state of struggle.
Yeah.
I put it on Facebook and I said, Rod Wave makes me feel like I'm not struggling enough. And somebody responded and they were like, step your struggle up. I'm like, huh? I was like, nah, Rod Wave can have that shit. I am at a point in my young years of life that I'm not trying to survive. I'm not trying to struggle. I'm trying to live. And I'm trying to live and get out there, see things, be with the people I love. That's what it's really about.
Yes, sir.
Nobody trying to sit here and talk about how life is so hard on a fucking 12-inch fucking how am I a 12-inch record. Nobody's trying to do that. Nobody's trying to get on wax and say, man, I almost got shot last week and my life is just so hard. Like I'm not supposed to be doing that type of shit anymore. I can't do that. It's time to get in and really just start living life. But
I hear that.
Yeah, we ain't trying to do all that struggling and stuff. You know, you're gonna have your struggles in life, but like it's not how it was from ages 18 to 26. Yeah. When life is like beating your ass with a football bat. Yeah. We don't want that anymore. But it's definitely been an interesting week in sports. A lot that we've seen. So UFC 293. Israel Adesanya is soundly defeated by Sean Strickland.
Boo.
I didn't like it either, but
Boo.
I kind of felt somewhere that he could do it. Did y'all watch the fight?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch it. I heard wind of what happened. I'm telling you, within like the actual defeat or whatever, my phone in my group chat, I had about 50 messages in the span of a minute, and I'm like, God damn, somebody important must have lost. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and look. And I was like, all right, so Adesanya lost. I was like, that's crazy to me.
Just a couple of notes
because it's overtrained or not having enough breaks or something.
Some of that comes down. So Izzy is actually one of the most active champions. Yeah, he took on like 4 or 5 fights in a year, which is insane for a champion. Because you look at a lot of other champions in the UFC, they might fight twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually how a lot of them end up staying as champion for a while. Is they kind of like Leon Edwards has yet to defend the belt, and he's beat Kamaru Usman twice. He wouldn't have won that first fight if it went to a decision, but the second time he got that decision.
That knockout.
That's a very big one. But as far as Israel Adesanya, that's probably one of the biggest upsets. And shout out to Sean Strickland for getting in there because he wasn't supposed to take that fight. He wasn't supposed to be the one. It was actually Dricus du Plessis who was supposed to actually fight. But Dricus got hurt and Sean Strickland came at the last second and got the upset. And it really was a clash of styles. That's what it came down to. Okay. Because in this fight, just to give you a little bit of stats. So this fight, this was the first time that Israel Adesanya was dropped in his UFC career. Was just knocked down. First time. It was also the most strikes that he missed in a fight. I'd have to look more into the stat, but it was like ridiculous. The differential in the defense in striking. And Izzy wasn't going to go for any takedowns or anything else like that. So it was just rough to just see him get completely just boxed out during this fight. And then we come to, but he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. Okay. The best thing I think he can do is probably go ahead and take one or two non-title fights. But he needs to take his time. Like right now, he needs to go take a break. Rest. Go be with your family. Like everybody puts him on so much of a different standard. They either set the expectation of what he's supposed to do either way too high, or people try to discredit him the whole time. And as a mixed martial arts fan, I kind of see that in the ether, and it's like people are always like half serious in their opinions. That's why I would rather sit here and talk with y'all, and you know, you guys have like a casual, like understand, you guys at least see it, than actually, or either this, or talk with somebody who's serious about mixed martial arts on the same level I am, to where we can talk the language, not just like the dirty casuals who kind of just see the big fighters. Like my ass was watching UFC Paris at 4:00 in the morning. That's how serious this type of shit is.
I don't blame you. The only reason I don't watch a lot of sports and everything else is I'm not subscribed to any of the apps that they're on, and I'm not gonna sit here trying to refresh a link every 2 seconds because someone's out here chopping down live streams. I'm like, I'm gonna get it some way. It's YouTube, somebody.
What I will say is I have ESPN Plus, but when it comes to the actual pay-per-views, those pay-per-views are $80.
Yeah,
they're 80 entire.
Go ahead and get that.
80 entire dollars. Now write down these instructions. Okay, so I do not approve of such activity as pirating, but there definitely are places that you can watch that fight that aren't ESPN Plus. But I will not name those places here today on my platform, because I don't want big homie Dana. I don't want big homie Dana to. I don't want the big stepper. I don't want that big stepper Dana White to come out and unleash the monster. I don't want him to do that. But not even a week later, we got UFC Noche, and that was the UFC's commemoration of Mexican Independence Day. And the biggest fight that they had on here was actually, well, before I even address the big fight, I want to say Miss Tracy Cortez. If you don't know who she is, I'll send you a picture with what she looks like. She's fine as hell, and she's a great fighter. Yeah, she a great fighter. She was also out for like 2 years, but it was cool to see her get the victory and get it during that time. Yeah, she put on a masterclass of a performance. But I'm gonna show you what she looks like. I'm gonna show you what she looks like. She's
curious
pretty.
now.
Yeah. I'm gonna send. But we get to the main event. And it's the flyweight queen, Alexa Grasso, and Valentina Shevchenko. This is their second fight. After the first fight, which was an upset, she took her back and got a rear naked choke in the 4th round.
Oof.
Now, this fight was really, really close. And it might spark some controversy because the fight ended in a draw. Yeah, it ended in a draw. And they put up the cards. And there was a 10. One of the judges judged it as a 10-8. And a 10-8, if y'all didn't know, is like you were getting mollywopped the entire round.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. So
opinion.
I don't know what fight they were watching. Really, the only thing that probably changed that was Valentina went for a takedown.
We got stuffed or something.
So it didn't quite get stuffed, but while she was trying to do a leg trip, and while they were going down, Alexa landed on her back, and she was trying to take her back. And then she managed to they were hand fighting towards the end of the fight, but there wasn't any significant damage. She tried to go for an arm bar that didn't really do anything, and that was like the last minute of the fight. Outside of that, Valentina had more strikes and did more damage within that time period, and she should have got that round. She should have got that 5th round. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. It ended up being a draw, which I felt the way about it because I'm like, I've been sitting here all day watching these fights, and this shit's a draw.
Yeah,
but
you want to see that.
A draw during a championship fight it's a waste of everybody's time, because the champion, you might as well just say they won because they're still champion. As a matter of fact, Alexa Grasso slipped up and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's why I won." And then Daniel Cormier was like, "But it was a draw." Yeah,
not DC.
You might as well say it was you might as well say she won.
Basically.
Yeah, because it's like Valentina got to go back, and now she might have an injury on her hand. So who knows? And the way I see it, both of them didn't edge out and get where they needed to go. But it was a great night of entertainment overall. But while I was watching this, I was also watching the Colorado versus Colorado State game. It was late as hell by this point. And it was definitely a very heated game starting up. Like before the game even started airing, there were already ESPN reports that there was a damn fight.
Riots, baby, riots.
There was already some words. There was some altercations being taken place. But this had to be one of the biggest games that I've watched in a long time, and had to be one of the dirtiest fucking games I've seen in a long time. Like, like receivers are going for catches and the ball goes out of bounds, and while the receiver is stopping, one of the defensive players blindsides them and shit, like way after the fact. I'm talking like players getting real nasty with sticking their hands in each other's in the helmets, in the face masks and shit. It was that type of game. Like there were words being thrown. It got real personal. Right, like really quick. And Shiloh Sanders, one of Deion Sanders' son that also plays on the team, had one of the most beautiful pick sixes I think I've seen.
80 yards.
Woo. You seen that one?
Yep.
And it was clean, just out the air, straight down the field.
Yep.
Went straight to the house. There was no interruption, nothing. Now that was a great pick. But from there, they didn't really transition anything in terms of points. And then they made some mistakes themselves. They were doing a running play, and they fumbled the ball, but he thought that the play was over because he was already on the ground, but he was on top of somebody.
Yeah, Travis.
So he let the ball, let the ball come out of his hand. They picked it up, ran it down the field. Now, it was getting late. And Josh, I definitely want to know how you feel about this. How late do you think these games should, or how early do you really think these games should be? Because let me tell you, it was halftime. It was on midnight by the time it was almost halftime. Like I was watching the Alexa Grasso Shevchenko fight, which was the main event, and that was like 11:30, almost 12. What should be the cap on these games? Do you think we should still go into double overtime? Do you think the game should be in earlier slots if they're big games like this? And I know it's supposed to be like the premier games are later, but hey, what do you think we can do, or what can be done about this?
I think a good time would be like right after work, so around like 6 or 7ish, or around like 6:30ish, because everybody like normal like 9 to 5. Everybody works at 9 to 5, so like they get ready, they get the shower, eat, they talk to the family, and then around like 6:30, 7ish, that's when the game should start. Especially when big games like that, Colorado State and Colorado, like double overtime, that's probably go into like, nine o'clock, 9:30 ish. Just because it started like 10,
It
and it
started at
ended at
10.
What
what, 2
the
o'clock in
hell?
the morning or some
Yes.
shit like that. Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's 4 hours.
And I do
Or
understand that
yeah,
a lot of this comes down to it comes down to like the availability of the slots. Because have y'all ever just looked at the college? Because I watched a couple of games yesterday. Y'all ever just look at the college football schedule of like what's on ESPN and what's on TV, like what's being covered?
yeah, yeah,
It's like close to like 100 games.
yeah.
Not quite, but like 60 or 70 games like every Saturday.
And it
Yeah,
started. Some of them
Just
starting at 5:30. I'm like in the morning.
yeah.
yes.
Them boys up early.
Yeah, they up early to go and get because it's always the same thing. And even like when I was in college, I went to Western Illinois University. Their games are actually on ESPN too. So I get a chance to actually watch their games and see all that stuff. But back then I could just go to the game.
Student
That's
section,
an option too.
baby.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah,
Yep.
I used to go for free. ROTC, you used to have us in the end zone. We used to just be down there. But the game started to teeter off, and by the last 4 minutes, it was a differential of I think about 10 points. 10 points, and then they kicked and they brought it down to a one-score game.
Okay.
And that's where it was for me. I made the decision to acknowledge this. Hey, Colorado is either going to do one of the two things. Either this is going to be a disappointing first loss, something that could be a learning opportunity, or hear me out, they could come back in a heroic fashion. But one thing that I won't compromise is my damn bedtime. I'll leave that in the ether. I'll leave that in the universe. And then whatever may be, may be. Lo and behold, I wake up and they didn't win. They didn't came back. Not only did they win, but they won by an additional score, an additional touchdown. That's outstanding.
Oh
That's
yeah.
outstanding. And there's definitely been a very, very divisive discourse about Deion Sanders as a not necessarily really even as a coach, but just the idea of him leaving Jackson State to go to Colorado. The optics for some people, they don't really like it. But I will say this: I still keep up. I'm keeping up more with college football now than I did maybe a year or two ago. And let me tell you what, I love tuning in to the HBCU games too. I look to see what the HBCU teams are doing equally as much as some of the other teams from some of the other divisions. You know,
All right.
I'm from the South, from South Carolina, so I'm like Mr. SEC. I will always tune into a SEC game because that is where the action is. But I think those HBCU teams should have the opportunity to play bigger teams. Some of them do. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like LSU and Grambling. Yeah, yeah. So before I even misquote, let
Oh
me let me
God.
let me grab that score right quick, just so y'all can know how bad that is,
Shit.
or how
Speaking of
bad it was.
LSU, didn't they just take an L not too long ago?
In
No, quite the
football?
opposite.
Right?
All
Nah.
right, so let me tell you what the score was. It was LSU versus Grambling. It was 72 to
Don't want to hear
10.
no more. Hey, you said 72. Don't want to hear no more. Yeah.
It
They was in
was
practice.
72. 72 whole
Oh.
points to 10. That's bad. That's bad. That's
That's
awful.
10
You know what
TDs.
gets me? All right, we're all playing football, basketball. We're all playing the same sport. Everybody's been playing the same sport for years. Most of these kids have been playing since birth or different stages of their life, right? why are some people's playbooks just different? You know, of course you got your dog type athletes, like they ain't going down without a fight, but it's like, dude, there is no way. It's crazy.
But that becomes, when the score looks like that, I don't think there's a playbook in the world that could save you from that. That just might be, and that's an outclassing. The athletes, it's just different. And
yeah,
some of that just comes down to who Grambling is getting versus LSU, and the exposure that they're getting, and the scouting process, and the actual students that they're bringing in, the players. It's coming from a much wider pool, a much more wider and accessible pool of individuals than Grambling. And I hope Grambling goes on to have a phenomenal season. I hope all of those teams go on, all of the, the SWAC teams and all of that stuff. I hope they go on to have phenomenal seasons too. But that 72-10 is crazy.
Very crazy.
Hey, mom ain't raised no bitch. Got to see it through.
And on the NFL side, the worst ass whooping to come out of week 1, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, 40-0.
Ooh.
How are we feeling about that?
I think 40-0. Cowboys has the best defense. Is it defense, right? The best defense and offense. No, besides Miami.
Defense, I believe they might have a pretty good push this year. I'm not sure about their offense, because they've had to reshuffle a few personnel and pieces recently. And Dak has got to close out his games. Dak's got to close out. I don't think Dak is the best at closing games out. Matter of fact, they sitting here on the TV right now against the Jets, which might actually be an easier game.
Yeah.
Despite the tragedy known as Aaron Rodgers. Poor Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. Yeah.
He tore his fucking shit. Hey,
RIP to everybody's fantasy league, everything, bro.
Jakese, did you get that? I think I sent you the meme of the SpongeBob meme.
Oh yeah.
Right, you remember he was going in the salty spittoon. He's like, "That's the greatest day of my life."
I was showing people that.
Oh my gosh, this is really happening. He finally got free for one game. Opening night, people are ecstatic. The Jets probably think, okay, we got all the pieces. We got we got a veteran quarterback, somebody that's experienced. But what they didn't account for is him being Mr. Glass. That's what they didn't account for. He's an older man.
Whole season, ain't he?
Yeah, he's done for the whole season. Achilles tear?
Achilles, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people are like, he broke his leg, this and that. Everybody making jokes, this and that. Next, like as the minutes are rolling by, updates are coming out, more highlight reels of what's happening. I'm like, ooh, yep. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking down the field. I'm like, guarantee you that person's upset. Oh, there they go. There it is.
It might be best for him to call it a career. Aaron Rodgers has done a lot for the organization. Well, I was about to say organizations, but this might be it for one of the other organizations. But he's put his time in. Hey, Aaron, don't be like your peer, Mr. Brady, and like ruin your whole life to play one more year of football. Go ahead, let it go. Let it go. You've done a lot. You've accomplished a lot. You're probably going to be like a first ballot Hall of Famer. So go, let it go. Let it go. It's okay. We're coming into the flash topics now. Good on the flash topics. Now, I gave y'all a little bit of a heads up of what to expect.
It still don't decrease the shock value, whatever you're about to say. It don't.
I guess not. So we'll go ahead and get into it. So the first one is the doo-doo plane.
God damn it. I thought you were going to say Judgment Letters.
Yeah, the
what
doo-doo
even
plane.
Is that?
So I go ahead and read through the story. So on September 1st, the pilot of a Delta flight heading to Barcelona, Spain from Atlanta made the difficult decision to turn the plane around after one individual had a severe case of runny diarrhea caused by biohazardous conditions. The mess created by the event forced a U-turn before the plane reached the Atlantic Ocean. Delta's cleanup crews at the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport took approximately 5 hours to strip the original carpeting, and thoroughly sanitize the plane. Afterwards, they received praise from passengers and others for their rapid response and professionalism of handling the incident. It took approximately 8 hours for the 336 passengers to reach Barcelona, but few complained. For the most part, they held back any anger about the delay. Whew. So they had a video for it, and they explained that the video revealed blue center aisle carpeting extensively stained by brown spots and streaks. Audio taken by air traffic control revealed that the passenger leaked feces all the way through the plane. The onboard airline staff attempted to cover it with paper towels and other material. What's other material? What the fuck is other material?
Sparkling water, ginger ale,
vodka. Yeah. Hey, club soda do a trick, man.
Yeah, I say club soda.
Oh my god.
Tonic.
Although no smell remained after the cleaning crew completed their job, one passenger reported that the plane smelled so badly before landing in Atlanta that staff attempted to cover it up using vanilla-based disinfectant spray. Instead of alleviating the situation, it apparently caused the plane to smell like vanilla shit.
That's what people do. They spray Febreze on stank, and it's just stank Febreze. Oh my god!
Another traveler claimed it smelled better after the cleaning. I love how there's just a disconnect between people's noses, and they're just like, "Yeah, we'll settle for this. we'll settle for this." Delta Airlines released a statement explaining that they had to reroute the aircraft because of an emergency situation. The sick passenger received immediate medical care on Friday from the EMTs. As far as incidents go, it could have been worse.
Shit.
Now, general rule in when you guys are traveling in the airports as men that have moved around the world and done some longer flights, what could have been done? Well, I think this was an older person too, but
biohazard though.
It is a biological hazard.
Well, I mean,
yeah. It's the air is limited up there, and everybody's breathing fecal matter.
That just makes it funny.
Everybody's so breathing doo-doo air, so it's like so you have to find some way to contrary to popular belief.
I need air. I'm opening the door.
Despite the fact that fucking people are passing gas at 100 miles and running on a fucking plane and burping and getting up and crop dusting people. This was an emergency.
I gotta start fighting people, bro. Fuck.
Because there's fucking limited air supply up there.
You wasted my precious air on shitting yourself? All right, scrap. We running these hands, bro. You finna be
all that air is recycled. All that air is recycled. Yeah. Breathe it all in. All of the toddlers.
That's basically what that person said, man. Breathe it all in, man. If I'm gonna suffer, we all gonna suffer.
Right. Man, I'm just trying to figure out what I just want to know the last moments before that individual became a casualty. Like
a casualty is right.
The fear in their eyes, trying to clench their cheeks and keep their ass from exploding. I just want to know that last seconds of fear. You might as well have said that's the same expression as like the plane getting ready to crash. Because
like at what point do they like let someone know like, hey, I've been shitting myself for a while and it ain't good looking? Like, is it pulled up? Is it like what happened? Was it like the South Park episode where they gave Mr. Mackey or whatever the laxative muffins and he's like rocketing himself or whatever? Like,
oh my god,
how bad is we talking? Like, when did it become enough?
And you're telling me this individual couldn't perform the infamous run by shit? Y'all know what the run by shit is. When it's a long day after work and you sitting there in the car like, ooh,
you fighting,
man,
and then you sprint.
All the laboratories were closed. That's what it was. They said, "Fuck them."
You sprint in that door with a fierceness. You may not even close the door, and as soon as you drop your pants and your butt makes contact with that toilet, instant release.
Can't even fight that one.
I want the play-by-play breakdown of this to see why the drop off, why the sling load was cut early.
Sling load.
Why they had to egress that vehicle expeditiously. Why James Brown didn't make his flight to the Super Bowl. And I need to have this information. Last but not least.
Wait, one more statement on that.
Please do.
I'm not gonna say I had a similar situation, but I would be a so-called expert at this kind of.
This man shit himself.
So we're all army vets or army personnel, whatnot. We're all soldiers. We have something called NTC, and yeah.
Don't remind me, bro.
So NTC is National Training Center. We go there to do our jobs, to to imitate deployment. And what I mean by imitate deployment, I mean no bathrooms, porta potties.
It's all fake.
Basically, yeah, it's all fake. And myself, I didn't take a shit for 9 days. 9 days.
Your shit was stopped up, huh?
For sure.
Was in there.
For sure. I sat down.
I got a story too.
The last day, I shitted
of
so
the box
bad.
or the
Ruba? No, it was in a porta potty. This is like the day before I left the box. I shitted my fucking intestines out. I was in the porta potty for 2 hours. 2 hours. Shitting my brains out.
He was pushing out fucking.
You gotta remember, I'm eating MREs, fucking melted candy. Up. Man, my colon was
nothing
screaming.
But sugar. Ooh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so
packed on pack.
Yeah,
God bless your colon.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yours isn't as bad as mine. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. So, mop gear, those that are in, we pretty much don like a biohazard suit that's supposed to prevent.
You should have went before you put on posture 4.
Prevent fucking contamination to exposed areas, to help you out when you put your gas mask on. Do it right, it looks kind of hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough photo op. But this had to be about 8:30 at night. First off, we was in the cold part of NTC, like during the year, so I didn't want to take the suit off anyway. But the suit is pretty much, you layered in. You have your regular uniform under it, if you so choose. You have your pants that go over top of it, the boots, and then the little jacket that go over top of it. And it's all strung together and buttoned up for those that are trying to get a picture. Imagine trying to take your overalls off and one of the little buttons, the clips, ain't moving the way you want to. So you're getting like super sweaty, you're getting aggressive with it, and it's not working. Like, that's the type of time I tell you I was on. Like, I had to shit. Somebody was in the bathroom tent or whatever we had set up. They were in it. I was like, dog, this is not going good. So I was like, fuck it. I got to do the next best thing. I found me a shovel and I found me a goddamn empty MRE bag. And I'm telling you, I was in that bitch dropping. I was moving so fast because time was of the essence.
Scandalous.
That fucking button that's on the front part of your shit that reach from your pants to the top, bro. I was in that bitch like, yo, I need you to come off, dog, please. I'm telling you, look, this gonna get graphic. I opened that goddamn MRE bag like this, and I just said, fuck it. I dropped trout and dropped a turd in that MRE bag, and I was like, this shit heavier than the MRE itself, huh? Bitch was monstrous. I dug a goddamn hole. I stuck that bitch in the ground and covered it back up in. I kept it pushing out there.
I guarantee that wasn't a dig site.
Oh, 100% it wasn't. But I stuck that bitch down deep in there too. And
that deserves a 21 gun salute.
Nah, for real.
That shit was so bad, bro.
Since we're on the story of shit stories, when I went to advanced camp back in 2017, I had there was a cadet I went with there who had this issue. He couldn't take a shit without taking all of his clothes off. And
I know somebody like that.
We were coming up on Land Nav week, and the Land Nav course for Fort Knox, it's a no dig. Well, that part is like no dig, and they have porta johns out there so we can use it. They strictly said, do not take a shit on the Land Nav course. So
we will find you.
cadets, we're definitely taking a shit
above the law
on the Land Nav course. So here I am doing day to night Land Nav, and I come up on like a brush, and I come past the brush. I'm coming up on one of my points. You would think if somebody is gonna do their business, they're gonna at least try to be off of a point where people won't see them. Tell me why this motherfucker is sitting there. Gear, full battle rattle completely off. ACU top off, pants off, drawers, socks.
Get the socks
with a whole dog. A whole dog.
Oh, my man went feral.
Dropping. And he kind of heard something. He said, is someone there? I'm like, hey, bro, it's Davis.
Speak, bro.
Hey, it's Davis. What the fuck is going on? He's like, hey, man, don't tell nobody about this. I'm just trying to get one off before I go back. I've never forgotten this, and I don't think I probably ever will. I'm scarred for life.
Y'all will always remember your first poop in a hole or some unfortunate circumstance. Promise.
Scandalous. You sitting there breaking a sweat, talking about some. I think we need to smoke a cigarette. It's gonna be over after that. We transition. We're gonna push into the last flash topic.
We're all getting fines.
So rapper DDG recently suffered a robbery. Well, not really robbery, but there was a breaking and entering into his home, and the footage has been released. He's addressed it, but apparently they broke into his house just to smack the shit out of him in his sleep, and then they ran out. And it just ran out. Now,
yo, that's demon time. Tell me why that's the type of shit I be thinking about. Like, if I was gonna be petty and fucked up, I won't even still know. I'll come to that bitch and make it a super inconvenience and then leave, bro. Like,
now apparently it was a real smack the shit out of him. Like, bah! like wound it up. Like you can see him in there. They in the room and they're just like, there he is. Smack the shit out of him. Wow.
Hey,
and then he gets up. He gets up. I think he turns on a light. He might have had a gun with him to figure but he's just trying to figure out what was going on.
Confused. Like, that is probably hands down the worst.
That's terrible.
I'll mind you come in my house, actually, God forbid it, in my life, or actually steal something. You came in here to press me, and then I wake up and not know who or what happened. I just wake up, my shit hurting.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, yeah. That's devilish. Now I see why people shoot somebody.
Yeah, it's awful. But But this brings us to a grandstanding close for the day, for the week. Jakese, you tell the people where they can find you, and what else you got going on. Anything you want people to know?
On the glorious Instagram at KODB_prod. You can find me on
ringing
TikTok.
Like a motherfucker right now.
You hear that shit? Hey, I got a phone call. I can't even suppress this motherfucker. It's on silent. That's the thing. That motherfucker going. I'm gonna have to call. I'm gonna have to call him back. I'm gonna have to call him back. TikTok at Mystic Impact. Twitch at the same thing, Mystic Impact. iTunes, Spotify, what you got out there, SoundCloud, everything. God damn.
They're killing you right now.
Still go. Okay,
I would take.
Stop. Thank God.
I'd take it out, throw it up against the wall. You got 2 more.
You're damn right. I got a whole bunch. They was almost ringing in sync.
Lord have mercy.
You can find me at KLDB Productions on all your music streaming services here, actually in America or wherever else you stream music at. Because your man's is Mr. Worldwide. I got people tuning in from almost every part of the globe, which is outstanding.
Pitbull is gonna come for your publishing now that you said that.
That'd be.
Hey, he was here in Hawaii. He ain't stepped to me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Oh man. Mr. Forde, tell them where the people can find you at.
They can find me on Instagram _hotspot. You know, my alt Instagram with my buddy Jakese Crockett here, KPODB Productions, or KPODB Fitness on YouTube. Same thing, KPODB Fitness. On TikTok _hotspot. Hey, if you got Xbox, trying to play some 2K, you know, FIB Woody. But other than that, you know, I'm good. You can find me on the beach, you know, the beach in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the kid, do whatever y'all need to do. But yeah, that's where you can find me at.
All right. Well, if you're looking to find us as a whole, you can find us at Highly Black and Flavored on Instagram. You can find us at HBAF Network on Twitter. We can also find us. Yeah, if you got a TikTok, we on there now. I'm gonna be dropping more clips on there. There's definitely, we got a bunch of like shit that we had, all those promos and whatnot. I've been cutting by myself for a long
content.
At least 3 years worth of shit. So we'll be backing. I was about to say we're gonna be backing all that up. That's crazy. We will be putting the content on there. We ain't gonna be backing nothing. I ain't backing nothing up for nobody. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you can find me at Savad _Nekatre. That is SIVAD_NEKATRE. That brings us to a grandstanding close. I hope y'all have a beautiful week. We will catch y'all in the imminent future. Peace.
Peace.
Prosper.
Peace.